Hey, good evening. Happy Sunday. I wanted to do a quick review of Spiritual Love Week and my thoughts of how everything went, plus the Crystal Angel Oracle card reading for the week. Overall, I was really excited and happy that, a Spiritual Love Week even happened. A lot took place for me this week, so it was not as it wasn't as impactful as I might have wanted it to be, as far as like me being involved in everything. The new moon in the latter part of the week kind of put things on pause for me, and then just kind of getting back into the flow of things. The conversation is definitely going to continue. It sparked some really deep and interesting and much needed conversations, but the most thing that I was really proud about or happy about is really just being able to show up and talk about topics that are close to my heart. Talking about spiritual love, talking about toxic and abusive relationships, talking about the things that aren't really talked about. So I'm really excited. So if you are part of the Spiritual Love Circle, my private Facebook group, then we will continue the conversations, and I will be in there shortly after this video. I usually do a more in-depth reading in my group, so those are always fun. But I'm really excited and proud of myself. This year is really, well, right now, period, is just all about new everything, like new energy, new way of thinking, new ways of solving problems, new ways of showing up in your life, new ways of doing your work. It's all about newness. Oh, and look at this. So this card just popped up as I was shuffling, and the card is appetite. And I do have a piece of that somewhere in here. I have a lot of my crystals in a grid right now, so they are working and currently unavailable. But the amazing thing about this card is that it's talking about progress, not perfection. So when it's time to do something new, we can get caught up in, are we doing it right? Is this the right way to do it? What are people gonna think? What if I do it wrong? How am I supposed to do it, right? We get caught up in our heads, and instead of progressing, we're hung up on that perfection part, and that usually leads to us not doing anything. It leads to procrastination, stuckness, and keeps you from doing what it is that you want to do. So especially like as I was talking about Spiritual Love Week, like it definitely was not perfect, but it happened. And I learned a lot along the way. It challenged me in different ways. And, I'm grateful for that experience. I'm grateful for being able to share with people. So it's, progress, not perfection. So we don't want to get caught up in comparison and judgment. I've been talking about judgment a lot. Like we judge ourselves and we judge other people. And it's actually a natural thing to judge, right? They say don't judge a book by its cover, but we definitely do. I know that's the first thing I look at is a book's cover. Like, is it interesting? Then I kind of like look at the back of the book and I read what that says. Then I read it's like a whole process. I love books. There's like a whole process that's involved when I like go buy a book. So we do judge things. However, it's not about us judging thing, but it's about how we're judging thing. Where's that judgment coming from? And the problem is everybody judges from up here, like, their life is perfect, like they've never done anything wrong, and then they're looking down on somebody here. And that's the problem. But if you can judge someone on an even playing field, kind of putting yourself in their shoes, then that's a different type of judgment. And being an empath, it's very easy for me to like feel for someone, like literally, and be able to put myself in their shoes. And judgment is really about acknowledging like, dang, that could have been me, or I've kind of been in a situation like that before. Not just looking down as though you're perfect and holier than thou, and like condemning someone for making a mistake. we've all made mistakes. We might make different mistakes, but a mistake is, it's a mistake. So just being careful not to judge people for doing different things is really important. And if you had some goals for yourself that you're struggling to reach, or you're trying to make some changes in your life or in a relationship, look for progress, not perfection, because there's gonna be errors along the way where you're gonna have to learn, you're gonna have to course correct. So it's really important not to focus on the missteps or the mistakes, or like I like to call them, the lessons, but to focus on the progress. And it's so easy to get caught up looking at where you want to be and all the many steps that it's going to take to get there, instead of kind of looking back like, wow, I've accomplished a lot in this amount of time to get to where I am now, and appreciating where you are. So especially as this year goes on, because about this time of the year is when a lot of people kind of start, like just letting their goals or their resolutions fall to the wayside. And that can cause a lot of internal conflict. But instead of, getting caught up in that and beating yourself up about it, just keep trying. Look for progress, even if it's just a few minutes a day. And then you just increase it. Do whatever you need to do that helps you get to where you want to be. Get support. Get accountability partner. Join a Facebook group. Get a coach. Talk to your best friend, your pastor, whoever you need to talk to, or whoever you need to help you, so that you don't feel stuck, so that you're able to see the progression in your life. That's really important. And really honoring yourself as well, because when we do make changes in our lives, it's so easy to just go to the next thing, but it's really important to celebrate the things that you've accomplished. And it's funny because last night I was talking to a friend of mine, and we had this assignment where we were supposed to write out 108 things that we accomplished, or that what we were proud of in our lives. And I was struggling, and I'm like, well, I know I've done stuff, but like, what can I put down? So she helped me to kind of like pinpoint some of those things that I've accomplished, and like she helped me to celebrate all the little wins that I made along the way. And that's why your circle's so important. Having people that support you, people who applaud you and celebrate you and encourage you, is really important, so that you don't get stuck in that cycle of, I'm not going to get there, I'm not enough, I didn't do this right, this didn't go right, so that you can see what, I'm making steps in the right direction, I'm making progress, and that is what really matters. So again, the energy of the week is all about appetite, and it is about making progress in our lives and not getting caught up on judgment or perfectionism. It's just about progressing, keeping your eye on the prize while celebrating the milestones along the way. And I think that's a really great energy for right now, since, like I said, we tend to get sidetracked from our goals and then just give up. So like I said, that's definitely something that I encountered this week with the first ever Spiritual Love Week. It was a learning experience. I had to kind of go with the flow on it. And I like the flow. I don't like so much structure all the time. So there will be some changes in the next one, because I have learned a little bit, and there were some things that I wasn't able to do that I really wanted to do. But overall, in my book, it is a success. I made progress, and that is what matters most. So I hope that you enjoyed this. As you go about your week, look for progress in your endeavors, in your life, in your relationships, and be encouraged. So that is it, and I will see you next time. Peace.